So what I could try to do here is take this butt rope. It's just a lead rope that I have. Now that we see that she is kind of accepting the rope around her hind end area, so what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to immediately go around and tie this to her hind end, flip it over her hind end and tie it. And just go, all right, figure it out. I'm going to keep this into an environment that she feels, take her out of her comfort zone a little bit. Ooh. About right here. And then go back to her comfort zone. I'm not going to go around and tie that around her hind end, make her freak out about it. I want her to stay confident and trusting and willing in me. So I'm just putting her in a situation, putting myself right here to where I'm like, okay, if she lunges forward, she's not going to run me over, put myself in a safe spot. So if we do have a violent reaction, it's okay. See, like that. And I'm not gonna get after her for that. I'm just gonna let her lunge forward and come over here and go, hey, it's okay. We don't want her to chase around and get even more worked up after that. We want her to be confident. So we know that flipping the rope over her butt like that was going to cause a reaction. And we know that because it caused a reaction, she's not going to be as confident. I'm not going to go as far because of it. And we're just going to do this. Ooh. There. If she wants to look at this rope, that's fine. She can look at the rope. And so I'm going to work on kind of getting this rope right there and just letting her feel it on her butt and letting her feel that that's okay. And her walking around me in a circle is actually a good thing in a situation like this. If a horse can move, here she really wants to look at that rope. Let her look at it. Let her see that it's not a snake jumping up behind her. But if she wants to walk around me, that's okay. I'll let her walk around me. But I'm going to pay a little more attention and make sure that that rope doesn't slide off her butt like it did. There we go. Let her stop, look at that rope. Realize it's not hurting her, killing her. Just because she had a violent reaction and blew out from me when that rope went down her butt, I'm not going to go, all right, that's the spot we need to work on. We need to make sure that she stands still when I get to that spot. I realized that spot was too far for her. And so now I am working on the step before that. The step before this, you could see she's kind of tossing her head around. She's looking back and forth at that rope. She's starting to lick and chew and show that she's comfortable. So we're going to flip that rope back up onto her back. Let her have a break from it. She's starting to realize that I'm not going to kill her with this rope touching her butt right there. This is where we need work, right here. Not over the hind end and down around her legs. Eventually that's where we want to get, but that's not building up. And I'm letting her turn and look at it. And I move it back up onto her back. I'm just letting her know that this rope isn't going to kill her. It's not going to hurt her, despite someone else's bad mistake when it came to it. Now, eventually, I would like to actually get this mare to where, there we go, I can actually drive her and hook a cart to her. So this is a really good process for her learning to pull stuff around that butt. There we go. And go back up onto the back. All right, there's kind of a problem spot. We almost had a bad reaction. So she's stopping and thinking. She's checking it out. She's not having a reaction now. She trotted forward, squirted forward a couple steps, but now she's thinking about it. So we're going to put that back up. You see here, flinging this rope around and stuff too is going to build her confidence as well. There we go. Get that on her butt. Her trotting around and not freaking out. If she wants to trot, she can trot. That's okay. I'll let you trot. There we go. Back onto that. Right up at the croup. She kind of, ooh, having issues here. But you can see, there we go. Ooh. Yeah, it's okay. See? It's okay. But you can see here, one accidental, not building up her confidence and working, making those building blocks before I went down. She had a violent reaction, blew out, those kind of things. But now that I'm working on, hey, let's build your confidence up here instead of down below by the hocks. Now when it goes down around her tail, which is where she got rim fired, got a rope up under her tail and got a rope burn. You could see she's a little uneasy about it, but we're not getting a violent reaction. And so I want her also to be able to move freely when I ask her to do this without blowing out. Just like that. There we go. Now we're going to take it up on the back because she circled around. She moved pretty freely there without being super tight. So something like this is building up her confidence. Down back around that tail again. You can see we're going to the same spot. Now she's moving out freely. She's kind of got her tail tucked a little bit because there's weight on it, but she's not tucking her hind end down, squirting forward. There we go. Good girl. And that's what I want. She's confidently moving forward. She's not necessarily super comfortable with it yet. I'm having issues with the rope. Oh, there's that spot. There we go. And we're not going to reprimand her for that. We're not going to reprimand her for being scared. We're just going to assure her, because when you reprimand her for being scared, there, it's okay. Right there's okay. When you reprimand them from being scared, all you do is reassure their fears. You don't ever want to reassure a horse's fears. You want to build their confidence. Let's drive her down the wall here a little bit. Get back up where we're supposed to be. But nothing that I want to do here with this rope, with that rope kind of falling down where it was, into her, kind of her no-go zone. Okay, so right here we're showing that we're not ready to go back to even where we were. And that's okay. Get over here. Hey, hey, hey. Settle down. So now we're going to go back to this. Kind of setting it there. Even though we made some decent progress there, we kind of reassured her fears and got her goosey again. So we're going back to the top of the hind end instead of the top of that tail. There we go. Good snort. We're going to kind of move it there. There we go. And this free movement, walking forward, is good. When you're working on something like this, forward movement is better than stopping and freezing. You want a horse to be able to be confident to move their legs forward and move forward. You don't want a horse to lock up and freeze on you. See right here, she's kind of trotting forward because she's a little uneasy about that rope. That's okay. She's moving forward. And I'm just going to kind of wait until she gives me a little bit of a, oh, I'm feeling good about that. But this is stuff that you can work on. Ooh. With your horses. See what we're going to do here. Easy, easy. What I'm going to try here, she doesn't like that rope. And that's okay. And I'm not going to treat that rope like it's something to be scared of. We're going to try something different here. Maybe just letting it drag on the hind end here. There we go. See that head coming down? They're just getting kind of steppy with her feet, kicky there. That's okay. She can do that. She can express her opinion about this, and that's fine. She can express herself and tell me what makes her uncomfortable. I'm not going to sit here and get after her for it. I'm just going to ignore it. And then pretty soon she's going to realize this rope on the ground isn't worth that reaction. She's dropping her head. She's kind of checking that rope out. There we go. Let's try to kind of change directions here. There we go. See what she thinks of these apples. It kind of dragging into the center versus where it's in her line of sight, but it's not touching her. She doesn't seem to care about that. Okay. So now we're gonna change directions again. Changing directions here is good too because it's getting her mind off of that rope on the ground dragging, and she's thinking about what I'm asking her to do versus how that rope's touching her. See, it's even wrapped around her foot kind of right now. She's not really caring much. Oh, there she goes caring about it, but it's not a bad deal. We're not having her blow out like she did in the beginning and run off and drag the rope out of my hand and freak out. Now it's just kind of a stomp of distaste versus a violent reaction. Ooh. Good girl. And these are the things that I'm looking for with her too. I'm looking for these kind of reactions. And that's okay that she feels that rope there around her hock. She can kick at it. She can express her opinion. I am okay with a horse expressing their opinion. Especially when it comes to something like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I like it. My job isn't to say you're not allowed to have an opinion. My job is to say, I know you feel that way about this rope on the ground, but let me show you why this isn't a bad ordeal. My job is to show her that her opinion about this can be changed. And show her that there is a more positive opinion associated with this rope versus the negative one that she has right now. Good girl. And you see, now I'm kind of getting down into that area where we had a reaction before. And now she's looking to me for guidance. She's turning her head into me. She's looking at me for, is this okay? And I'm going, yeah, it's okay, see? And so that negative opinion that she had before about this rope, I didn't say you're not allowed to have an opinion. I said, that's a negative opinion. Let's ignore that opinion and let's see if we could get a more positive opinion about this. Like I said, it's not my job to tell horses they're not allowed to have an opinion about something. I fully believe in allowing your horses to express themselves and show when they're uncomfortable, when they dislike, when, you know, I'm all about allowing horses. Oh, look at that. That's an accident right there. And we got the rope down around her hocks there, and she's not kicking out. She's not freaking out. So I'm just going to pitch that rope down instead of trying to get it up over the hind end. Just pitch it down and go, good girl. It's my job with horses to say, hey, let's take that negative opinion and turn it into a positive one. That's my job. And so now we got a more positive opinion on this rope. It may not be 100% positive. It may not be, all right, let's do this. I'm perfectly fine with it. But it's an opinion going, ooh, ooh, good girl. Now I'm going to drop that rope. So because she didn't blow and run off that time with it, I'm just letting it hang there. She could kick at it. She, like I said, she can have that opinion, but pretty soon she's going to realize that that rope around her leg isn't worth that negative opinion and that negative reaction. You got to step forward here, sweetie. There we go. I like horses that can express themselves. I like it when a horse can tell me, when they feel comfortable telling me, I'm uncomfortable doing this. And look to me like she is right now for guidance versus having an explosive reaction. Right now she's telling me with her body language, I am uncomfortable with this. And I could go, okay, we're uncomfortable with it. But let me show you, was that worth being uncomfortable over?